Gobby Gaffer here at Positive Central. Yes, we're still staying very positive, although one or two of the recent things that have happened are, let's put it this way, mildly frustrating. Still having problems with the board, with the transfer and wage budget. Can't shift any money around at all. It's really bizarre, and it's been like that for weeks and weeks now. So consequently, I've had no transfer budget whatsoever, and I've had to go into the loan market. Now, that in itself, it has been a good thing because I've been able to pick up some really, really good loan players. In fact, one of them is a wonder kid on loan. Yes, I know, a wonder kid on loan. Anyway, no time for waffling today. Got a lot of information to impart. We've got a couple of games today. One of them is in the Champions League against Atalanta. We have actually started the Champions League campaign really, really well. Let's have a look at what happened at the end of the transfer window. So if we just have a quick look at the transfers out to begin with. So Elvik Jaeger and Charlie MacArthur both went out of the club. They were both having a bit of a moan and groan, not really playing enough. So it was fair dues. And I managed to bring in around about £1 million for those two, which was quite nice. Although, like I say, I wasn't really allowed to spend very much of it. So I'm moving on to the transfers that I've been able to bring in. And this is very exciting, let me tell you. So last season, I don't think we had any loan players at all. We're allowed 6. So I thought, okay, the board won't let me spend money in the market. I think I did tell you about a centre-back from Manchester City who was trying to bring in. He was a wonder kid. In the end, I had to concede defeat on that one because the board just wouldn't let me spend the money. I had it because the wage budget, there was plenty in there, but they just would not let me transfer it. Really bizarre situation. Not sure whether it's a glitch. I don't know. But anyway, so we have dipped into the loan market. So the first of those players has come in from Manchester City on loan, Michael Bates. 24-year-old, deep-lying playmaker. I mean, I don't need to read stats out for you these days. You can all read those stats. And to see, we did need a deep-lying playmaker. So let me just tell you one little switch that I've made. We didn't start the season very well. Lakar played all last season as that deep-lying playmaker, and he did okay, but he's a better centre-back, and the centre-back position was where we were struggling a little bit. We were playing young lads in there, and I think that was to our detriment. So I've moved Lakar back into the centre of defence, needed a deep-lying playmaker. This lad fits the bill really well. Like I say, from Manchester City, he's English. He's coming as a 3-star with the potential to be 4.5, and he's doing a really good job for us. The next one in from PSG. Again, they're all on loan, these lads. So from PSG, Alberto Cazorla, 22-year-old French ball-playing defender. So again, looking at that defence, we have got the young kids in there who need to develop. I mean, even though one of them is a wonder kid, we do need to, bed them in kind of slowly. So he's going to give us some great cover. Again, really great stats, 16 for heading, jumping reach of, 12, not so great. But he's got really good positioning, marking, tackling. So he'll be a good addition for us. Moving into the centre midfield now. And from Rennes, we brought in Nello Del Rey. 20-year-old Italian, coming as a 3-star with the potential to be 4.5. Again, he's played a couple of games for us, looks really good, stats look really good. And next we went to Napoli and brought in a 22-year-old Serbian. He's a midfield player again. Ludovicus, I mean, he's got to be good with a Christian name of Ludovicus, hasn't he? Ludovicus Heremans. Again, looks really, really good in midfield. We have played him a couple of times. He looks a really good, prospect. He looks a really good starter for our team. Off to Southampton next. Zane Higby has come in. English, 22-year-old, left winger, inverted winger, inside forward, with some nice cover there for Delgado, who basically is playing most of the games at the moment. So, and that'll be a nice, although I have to report he has got injured. I think he's out for 4 or 5 weeks. We have picked up 1 or 2 nasty injuries. Not great, but when he gets fit, we've got some nice cover on that side. And lastly, to Chelsea for Tope Usman. He's a 19-year-old wonder kid. He's English, central midfield player again. He's, either footed, left footed, fairly strong, right footed, very strong. So he can play quite a lot of those positions in midfield. We've got really good cover now all over the pitch. So I think you'll agree, my squad was looking a little bit, paper thin, I suppose, because we did let a lot of players go over the summer. And we only actually, last time I spoke to you, I think we brought 2 in. Now we've really bolstered the squad. The European squad registration rules are hampering us a little bit. But again, Champions League, for me, it's not about winning it. It's about progressing and getting those 2.4 millions in. And let me tell you, we've done that once already. We played 1 Champions League game against Olympiacos. We beat them as well at their place. So we've already earned 2.4 million, and that's what it's all about. And speaking of games played, let's go and have a look and see what's been happening. So, of course, we watched the first 2 games of the season. That dire result against Ajax in the Super Cup, got beat 5-1. And we didn't really do that much better against Feyenoord. We drew 0-0 in the first league game of the season. But then we played Almelo at home, beat them 3-0. Then we went away to AZ, beat them 2-0. Put a couple of friendlies in there just to try and get us, the new players a little bit more used to our tactics and formation and how they're meant to play. And we won 16-0, 17-0. I mean, the scorelines in friendlies don't matter at all. It's about getting people used to the system, get some fitness in legs. But then we played Vitesse. We beat them 3-2. Bit of a narrow victory, that one. It was 2-2 for quite a long time, and we managed to nick a winner, and it was 3-2. And then the big game. We went to Olympiacos in the Champions League and came away with a 3-1 victory. A massive pat on the back for all these lads. What a tremendous result that was, and got us off to a really, really good start. And then we came back home to play at Utrecht, 1-1. Little bit of a Champions League hangover, I'm not sure. I think it was a little bit of a scripted game, this one. We were easily the better team in this one. We went ahead at 1-0. We were well on top. We had no problems whatsoever. And then Utrecht got a really undeserved equaliser. And when that equaliser went in, running through my head, I'm thinking, you know what? We're going to get a late chance here and it'll hit the crossbar. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, sometimes, we don't like to say scripted, but that's exactly what happened. Thinking about the 85th minute, we got a bit of a breakaway, lovely flowing move, a shot, hit the crossbar, pinged over. Could have won the game 2-1, but we weren't allowed to. Okay, less of that anyway. We're being optimistic central, that's what we are. So at the next game, we went away to Groningen and we managed to sneak a 1-0 win in that one. Weren't that great, but Stanojevic has been playing centre forward for me. Van Dijven's been out injured. He is coming back now, but he's been out injured. Stanojevic playing centre forward. He's played 5 times there, not scored a goal. So basically, later on in the game, I moved him onto the right wing, which I think is his better position. And I think I put Pierre up front. And 88th minute, he bobbed in, scored the goal for us. We won it 1-0 and a nice 3 points. And just having a quick look at the league table, this is a very strange looking league table, let me tell you. So Utrecht are on top, having played 16 points. Emmen are in second place. I mean, they pretend every season, don't they? Emmen, they're always up there. First 5 or 6 games do really well. Then they drop away. Do a little bit of an Arsenal, if we're honest. Although maybe not this season. As a Manchester City supporter, I can tell you, I think they might win the Premier League this season. I don't think they're going to do a normal Arsenal. What are we talking about the Premier League for? I have no idea. We're in the Eredivise. So we're third. We played 6 games. We're on 14 points, so we're still well in touch. But the big surprise is Ajax. I've actually lost 2 games this season. They've played 6 and lost 2 of them. So they're actually in 4th place at the moment with 12 points. Don't think that's going to last forever. But it's very nice to see, given that they had an invincible season last season. Could we actually do it this season, given the fact that Ajax are losing a few? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, well, there was a lot of information to impart there and a lot of information for you to take in. So I'll let that soak in because I've got a plane to catch now. Due on the plane, we're off to Italy. We're playing Atalanta in the Champions League. I think this one will be a little bit tougher than Olympiacos. But to be fair, I didn't expect us to get a result against Olympiacos, and we did. So who knows? Well, welcome to Bergamo in Italy for this really important game against Atalanta in the Champions League. It's going to be a tough game today. As you can see from my bench, I am quite light Champions League squad-wise. I don't think we've got any homegrown players in the squad. So I think the squad's down to about 21 players. All the loan players, I think, have all been registered, which is fine. Does leave one or two of my regular squad players out, and they've not been happy about that. But there's not a lot I can do, really. Anyway, so the team for today, we're going to play a balanced mentality. I played this kind of formation and mentality against Olympiacos, and it worked really well. So got Recoba in goal. Back four of Chrisen, Cazorla, Lacazette and Mateus. Bates is the deep line playmaker. Del Rey, Fertier in the midfield. We've got Delgado and Stanojevic back out on his regular perch on the wing there. And we're going to try Pierre up front today as an advance forward. And we're underway. We get the first highlight. So we're just passing it around between our defenders, getting a feel for the ball. That's very nearly lost, and it is lost. So Atalanta have nicked the ball there. Very, very incisive, very quick passing. Ball's in the back of the net, and we're losing 1-0. There's only just under 3 minutes on the clock, and Luca has put the ball in the back of the net. And this is not the idealist of starts. Idealist? It's not a very ideal start even. If we get me English right, then we'll be all right. Although we are playing in Italy, so yeah, very, very poor defending that. They were very quick and incisive. Not the best of starts. So we have had 2 shots and 1 on target though in the game. Possession, they're just shading on possession. But we do have a throw in. So let's see if we can recover from that early setback. Mateus on the right hand side. Stanojevic, Bates playing the ball forward. Lovely ball over to Delgado. That slipped in, and Pierre gets us back in the game with an absolutely brilliant strike. That's his first start as a striker for us, and he's done what Stanojevic has not been able to do for 5 games. Nice turn there as well. Lovely control. Nice turn. Lovely goal. So we're back with another highlight. Atalanta on the ball. Can somebody get a tackle in? Can we win this ball? I've got my wing backs now playing a bit wider. I'm not quite sure in the game whether it's the AI is bringing full backs and wing backs in. But I've noticed us getting beat on the outside by a good margin as well. So I've asked them to stay wider. Back with another highlight. Atalanta, I mean, only to be expected this. They're at home. They want the 3 points. They're a good side, Atalanta. And is that going to go in the back of that? No, Recoba picks that ball out of the air. 38 minutes on the clock. We're coasting through at half-time now. A draw here would be very, very nice. A win and a draw in our first 2 games would be a really satisfying first 2 games in the Champions League. But it's all Atalanta at the moment. Another highlight for them. Sanchez at the back. Wan-Bissaka is playing for them. Douglas Luiz. Luca now as the goal scorers pick the ball up. And that's in the back of the net. Bump, bump, bump. Back of the net. So Atalanta do not mess about. So we're going in at half-time. 2-1 down. Not ideal. And when we scored, I thought my hopes were raised a little bit. But they are very incisive, Atalanta. So I'm going to say, what was that? Get your act together. Who's looking stressed? Del Rey. Okay, you can come off then, mate. We don't have people looking stressed in my teams. Who can we bring on? So Tope Usman, the wonder kid, can come on. I'm going to put him on attacking as well a little bit. Yeah, I don't stand for any messing. If any players are looking uninterested or frustrated, then, well, there's the door. You can go. I can't be doing with that kind of thing. We all need to be pulling together, particularly in games like this. And they've gone 3-1 ahead. So this is not ideal, is it, to be honest? So this is not great. We're on a balanced mentality. Maybe I should have gone a little bit more positive. 3-1 down. I mean, I can't see us coming back into this game now. Fatia there did win the ball, but wasn't allowed to keep hold of it. Ball over onto this left-hand side, and another tap in. We're now losing 4-1. So unless that one gets disallowed, what's the referee going to say? No, it stands. So it's 4-1. Made all the rest of my subs now, and I've got an important league game coming up, so we need fitness, and we need to. This game's gone now, so we may as well just bring 5 subs on and just see the game out now. This is quite poor. This really. I mean, I didn't expect to get an amazing result here, but 4-1's a little bit of a battering. It seems to me as though when we play really good teams like Ajax, like Atalanta, we're not up to the pace. So that's a penalty there all day long, referee. You're not going to give that? No, okay. Delgado picks the ball up. Are we going to get a consolation goal? You know what I think about consolation goals. No, we're not even allowed one of those. Frustrating day at the office, this one. It's a bit of a weird one because I was contemplating which games to come back for. The Olympiacos one, from a viewer's point of view, would have been great because we played really well in that game. But no, I played that off camera and I thought, right, okay, we'll come back for the second Champions League game and a league game. But unfortunately, from a viewing perspective, this is it's not great, and we've been given a really serious lesson by Atalanta. So as per usual with the game, when you're getting absolutely humiliated, it will carry the game on as much as it can. So we're going to get lots of highlights now in these last 10 minutes just to drag the game out. Atalanta coming down their left. The ball in midfield, back onto the left. There's 3 players there, and we didn't win the ball, weren't allowed to win that one. I think Rakoba made a little bit of a meal of that one. I'm sure he could have caught that ball. And we get another highlight. Atalanta again, and that's in the back of the net. We're now losing 5-1. I do hope, I really seriously hope this is not going to affect our league form. We don't want any demoralised players. Please do not let this affect the dynamics of the squad. 5-1, this is an absolute mauling. That was awful. Absolutely awful. Words don't express how angry I am. I mean, that was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And bearing in mind, that's Atalanta's second game. They lost the first one, and they've just wiped the floor with us. Awful, awful stuff. I don't mind losing games, but when you don't put a shift in and you get absolutely annihilated, that makes me really, really angry. And maybe it shouldn't do. Maybe, in the Champions League, we have to know our place in there. But after the Olympiacos result, my hopes were really high for today, and I thought we could have maybe nicked a draw, maybe just narrow defeat. 5-1, awful. Let's move on, because we are being positive. Let's not forget that. We have a game now against a newly promoted team in the Eredivise. Let's go and get in the dugout for that one. Well, welcome to ADO Den Haag, newly promoted team. Not had the greatest of starts, so I would have expected us to get something out of this game, but you never know. Champions League hangover and a real walloping. Let's hope it doesn't. The team is Rakoba in goal, back 4 of Chrisen, Cazorla, Lacarte and Tavares. The midfield 3 are Fatea, Usman and Bates. The 2 wingers are Delgado and Consacao, with Pierre starting up front today. Well, we started the game quite brightly, but up to now, we're 25th minute, and this is the first highlight. So, Den Haag, ADO, I don't know what we call them. They are coming forward with the first highlight. quite a strange looking strip that they have as well. It's like green and white stripes, hoops. And our keeper just about, does he tip that over? It's not, the corner's not been given. So quite a lacklustre game. We are doing okay. Possession wise, ADO are winning the game possession wise, and they are having quite a lot of the match momentum as well. I'm going to say we simply have to be better in front of goal, start hitting the target more often. Let's give them a little bit of a flea in the rear. So we do get the second half underway. We've got a highlight here. Lakar plays the ball to Cazorla. This is moving the ball nicely, and that hits the crossbar and goes over. Nice long range shot there. So we have picked up the second half a little bit better than we were in the first. The half-time team talk does seem to have worked at the moment. Chrisen, ball into Delgado. Delgado, and the keeper just turns that round the post. So we have our first corner. Well, the first corner on camera. Consicau's going to swing this into the back post, and we don't get a header on that one. Delgado's going to bring this ball back in again for Taya. Cazorla, Bates, Lakar. And that one comes to nothing. We do get a free kick though. Consicau, Lakar! Lakar with his 6'5" there and puts the ball over the top. Another free kick. So we do seem to be getting on top in this game now. But we need to put the ball in the back of the net, and that was very, very poor control. Come on, keeper, make a hash of it. Somebody make a hash of it. No. They're passing the ball around in a very slick manner. They've actually got through on our right hand side, but Rakoba takes that ball nice and easily. Couple of changes. Van Dijven back from injury now. Do have to be a little bit careful with him, but he's come on up front for Pierre, who wasn't having a good game. Heermans has come on for Tope Usman in midfield, and I've also made a little change there where Bates has now dropped to a DM and Heermans is going to be the DLP. See if we can just create a few more chances for Van Dijven, who's just come on. But we're now in the 70th minute, and my substitutes have not made any impression. Gone a little bit more attacking now, just to try and get us on the front foot. We've had 9 shots, 2 on target, XG of 0.92. Probably tells the story of why we're not putting the ball in the back of the net. But Van Dijven is on, and Van Dijven can put the ball in the back of the net, as we know. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Looks maybe as though they're getting a player sent off. And yes, they have got a red card, so they're down to 10 men. But my record playing against 10 men is never very good. And again, another game that goes to 0-0. We've lost 2 points against a newly promoted team. And quite frankly, if we're going to win this division, we need to be playing better than that, and that was pretty awful again. So I'm kind of wondering whether I should play any more games on camera for the rest of the season. Shall I play them all off camera? Wouldn't be much of a YouTube channel, would it really, to be quite honest? But a loss and a draw again today. The first 2 games of the season that were on camera, a loss and a draw. Today, back on camera, a loss and a draw. Not great, really, if I'm honest. But we are up there fighting with 3 other teams, Ajax, Utrecht and Emmen. And the quest is still on to try and win the division. That's my goal this season. Let's just have a quick look at the league. So 7 games played. Utrecht are top of the division. They've won 3, drawn 2 in their last 5 games. Ajax are now second, having won their last game. So they've won 3 and lost 2 in their last 5. We are third, having done the same as Utrecht. So we've won 3 and drawn 2. We're on 15 points. There's 3 teams now on 15 points. 2 points behind the leaders, Utrecht. Okay, thanks for watching. One of these episodes, I promise, we'll win 2 games in the episode. But, you know, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please give me a like. If you're new around here, subscribe, spread the word, all of that kind of good stuff. As usual, the next episode is just around the corner. So if you like your football manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then why not come back for the next episode and show your support for a new up and coming channel. We'll see you then.